BodyBags, where horror lies.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to BodyBags. It's week 158, and I'm your Sunday host, Bourgie86, here again. Now, the film I got for you guys today is the newest release from Drafthouse Films, and I was very interested in this one when it was first announced by them, and really cool to check this one out for you guys today. And it's a film titled Invitation. This film is directed by Karen Kusuma, who's directed two films I know of. One is Girl Fight, that's not really a horror film, and the other, of course, is the infamous Jennifer's Body, with, of course, that Megan Fox film. But she directed this film too, and this film stars Logan Marshall Green and John Carroll Lynch, who are really good actors. I know Logan Marshall Green from Prometheus, of course, and John Carroll Lynch I know from Zodiac and the Drew Carey Show and numerous other films and appearances that he's been in over the years. The main plot of this one, are introduced to Logan Marshall Green's character of Will, who's still kind of struggling with the loss of his son. He lost his son a few years ago, and he got divorced. And him and his new girlfriend, Kara, actually got a dinner invitation from Will's ex-wife. So they end up going up to this, where Will used to live. That's where the dinner is. And when they forget there, they get to reconnect with some old friends, and then they meet Eden, that's Will's ex-wife, and her new husband, Dave. And they start acting very strangely, and Eden starts acting strangely to the guests. It's kind of like awkward moments between the two, Will and Eden, when they first meet. And a lot of weird awkwardness starts happening as the film progresses. And a lot of strange things start happening around. Will's noticing certain things because of the way these people are acting, because then a few of Dave's friends come to the party also, and then they start acting weird, and Will's trying to piece together what is going on. And what pretty much is, because we do kind of find out a little earlier in the film, is that these people, Eden and Dave and their friends, have another opportunity that's aside for this party than unbeknownst to the rest of the guests. That's pretty much the main plot. Without going way too into spoilers, because this one is kind of a hard film to talk about because of its subject matter. Now, with that being said, the way this film progresses is really, really interesting. It has because that these people, what their motives and what they're part of when the first 25 minutes of the film. So you kind of think what's going to happen at the end. It's kind of one of those weird endings where it is kind of a predictable ending. But I did like the film. I really liked the contained setting of it, and the acting is really fucking awesome in this film. The performances by Logan Marshall Green and John Carroll Lynch, to name a few, are outstanding. It's actually some of their best acting work, I have to say. The emotions that go through Will's face as you follow him through the film is really, really spellbinding, because we get to know more about what his backstory is with his son and what is going on. And the film delves into this horrific story about pain and loss and the ultimate sacrifice, pretty much, the climax of the film. And I just like the airiness of it, and the soundtrack's really fucking well done in this film. It has this spellbinding violin-based score where airy, it doesn't overdo itself, it comes when it needs to be. And yeah, and just the camera angles and stuff, and the cinematography is beautiful in this film. There is one shot of this film that really, really, I don't even know how they did it, because it was kind of reminiscence of I know this isn't kind of the same movie, but Enter the Dragon, in a way, when Bruce Lee's in that Hall of Mirrors. They had like a shot like that with like there's a mirror on like the wall, and then there's a mirror on the side, and it shoots like all the way down, kind of like you can see like the reflection all the way down. It was a really great shot of the film, and there's a lot of like great color schemes too, like this scene in particular that happens in the film. I really like that scene because it is like bright red and ruby red. Karen Kurosama did a really good job directing this film, and I just like the film progresses. It is a slow burn film, and it just progresses at that rate that you need to really pay attention to see what's going on, because you might miss something in the film. If you haven't seen these type of films before, it might be a little more predictable because of its subject matter and the outcome of it, pretty much is what I'm saying without trying to spoil it. But the ending was cool, I have to say. I really did like the very last like ending scene of this film. It's very gracefully done, and it was just amazing like experience to watch like this film, even though I kind of knew what was going to happen at the very end of the film, and the third act of the film pretty much. I still enjoyed it for what it was, because the acting was good, and I liked the characters because of their interactions with each other, and the few like scenes with the actors too. Like one scene in particular is the want game, when they talk and interact with each other and say, I want to play a game like I never, kind of like that kind of deal. And like this, the feud, like the dinner scenes, and just the interaction between the actors is really spellbinding, because it does seem like they were good actors, because they do seem like they knew each other, you know what I mean? That's pretty much what I'm getting at. I did enjoy this film. Like I said, the predictability of it kind of hurt it for me. And also, it does run like maybe like 10 minutes too long, because it is like an hour and 40-minute film. It could have been maybe trimmed down 10 minutes. That's just my personal opinion. But everything else of this film I really liked. I loved the acting performances. I enjoyed the cinematography, the direction's really well done. And the musical score is one that is very subtle and violin based, and it doesn't overplay itself. It works for what it is in this film. So if I had to rate The Invitation, it's still a very well made film in my opinion. So I'm giving it a solid 8 out of 10. And I do recommend this release from Drafthouse. I actually did listen to the audio commentary with the writers and the director. And it's really informative of the subject matter and how they made the film and the character development. Really cool release from Drafthouse. 2-disc set in like this Criterion type case with a slipcover. And some nice, awesome reversible cover there. Yes, I do recommend The Invitation. Alright guys, that's it for this review for BodyBags. I'll be back next week with another one. Don't know what I'm going to be reviewing yet. And as always, I'll see you next week guys. Peace out.